Welcome to this first-time setup guide for the Infinite RS series desktops, equipped with Intel's 13th Gen processors and NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 40 series graphics. Please note that there may be minor differences due to adjustments in production and sub-model SKUs. When opening the box, you'll find the extra power cables for the power supply, a quick start guide, and accessories located on the top of the system. You will also find a keyboard inside, located next to the system. Remove those items and set them to the side. The easiest way to remove your new Infinite RS desktop from the box is to tip the box over and let gravity do the work. Once the desktop has been removed from the box, remove the two foam paddings and the cloth covering, which is held on by two Velcro straps towards the bottom of the system. Place the desktop on a flat surface and turn your attention to the interior of the system. You'll see an inflated foam packaging that is meant to support the interior components during shipping. To remove the foam, first pop the side cover open by pulling on the side of the case. Once the side panel is open, gently work the foam packaging out of the case. While the side panel is open, you can inspect the cables and components to confirm that everything is still firmly seated. General things to check are the cooler mounting points, CPU cable, 24-pin power cable, memory sticks, graphics card cable, and front I/O headers. In the accessory pack, there is a power cable included. Please plug in the cable to the back of the system and the other end into the nearest power outlet. Grab the keyboard and mouse and connect both devices to the back of the desktop. If you're planning on using the Wi-Fi built into the system, you may screw in the included antennas which are found in the accessory pack. Or if you plan to use an Ethernet connection, go ahead and plug in the cable at this time. Next, connect your monitor to the graphics card ports, which are located under the motherboard I/O. Once everything has been plugged in, hit the power button, which is located on the top of the desktop. If everything has been plugged in correctly, you should notice an MSI logo pop up on the display. The monitor will then show a Windows initiation prompt to set up your computer. Please follow the instructions to complete the process. Just a heads up, there are I/O ports located on the top panel of your new desktop. You'll notice a power switch, a reset switch, USB Type-C, headphone and microphone jacks, two USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, and an LED button. The LED button controls the RGB components that are connected to the included ARGB controller. To enable Mystic Light software mode, hold down the button for 3 seconds. To disable the RGB, hold down the button for 6 seconds and the light should turn off. Once everything has been set up, don't forget to register your product on our website.
A desktop PC, the powerhouse for gamers and content creators alike. From performance to cooling, this puppy has it all. Today, the Aurora R15 will prove itself to be the desktop champion. Hey everyone, it's Josh again, the social planner at Alienware. As someone who spends a ton of time at a desktop myself, I've been really looking forward to the Alienware Aurora R15. And if I'm being honest, it's got plenty going on under the hood to be excited about. The Aurora R15 was designed to deliver exceptional performance across the board. From improving cooling and an updated design to increased performance, every change is thoughtful and intentional. This is driven not just by our commitment to keep up with the best tech available, but also because of feedback from countless Alienware fans and users. I'm excited to say, we've definitely delivered here. The new cooling updates might just be the part of the R15 that I'm most excited about. Every gamer knows that heat is the enemy when it comes to performance, and lots of cooling options out there can either be loud, bulky, or just straight up inefficient. So what's the use of top-of-the-line CPUs and GPUs if they overheat before you can even experience their full potential? So in the R15, we've included an all-new 240mm heat exchanger on all liquid cooling configurations, our largest ones yet. It's been designed for improved thermal resistance and increased thermal capacity. To complement our liquid-cooled configuration, we've also got 5 fans packed into the chassis of every system based on Intel K-series processors, and all new hexagonal array side vents that improved overall airflow throughout. All in all, we've taken community feedback into consideration and made significant updates for you guys. For the gamer looking for an upgrade or any user looking to future-proof, the Aurora R15 has a ton to offer. The R15 includes 13th gen Intel CPUs and NVIDIA 40 series graphics, the most powerful graphics performance we've ever introduced. We've also updated the graphics slot positioning to enable larger card designs for increased performance and upgradability if that's something that interests you later down the line. As far as bandwidth goes, the R15 supports a DDR5 RAM, which helps load games faster and allows you some extra browser tabs too. If you're someone like me who needs to multitask, that improved memory is going to give you all the bandwidth you need for gaming, watching YouTube, chatting on Discord, streaming. You guys get the point. There's abundant power through the 1,350 watt power supply options available. With every PSU having an 80+ platinum rating, we've now got a new ceiling for total system wattage designed to meet your needs. That PSU ensures you have plenty of power for all those high-end components. Now that we've covered the inside of the new Aurora, it's time we show a little love to the new, updated design. It features an open-air layout and powder-coated interior. It's also got an optional rear cover cable to help with all those messy cables. A huge variety of ports and Alien FX lighting, all easily accessible in the toolless design with an optional clear side panel so you can customize your Aurora to your heart's content. For those of you wanting to play your favorite games or go back and enjoy the classics, we've got you covered. Our updated design, paired with the latest CPUs and GPUs, ensures you get the most performance from your system. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about the Aurora R15 and how you can bring your playstyle to the next level. What would you do with a new Aurora? Let us know down in the comments. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. GG, y'all.
Hello everyone, this is Jeremy here from CyberpowerPC. As PC configurations go, they can go in many different directions, and sometimes that can be paralyzing trying to make a decision on what kind of components you want inside. To make it easier, we came up with the brand new build. This is the Gamer Xtreme Intel Series Gaming PC. Before we go into the components, let's start talking about the case. The first thing that you see, we have a tempered glass panel in the front and another tempered glass side panel on the right side, where you can see inside of your case. We have the front I/O on the left side of the case, which has a power button, USB, a reset button, and then of course you have your back I/O that has your USB, Ethernet, microphone and headphone jacks, as well as your input outputs for your graphics card, and then of course the power supply cable so you can power your PC. And then of course inside we have our RGB CyberpowerPC fans that are connected to an RF remote that you will get with your build. So you can turn them off, turn them on. There's a bunch of different colors that you can choose from, different modes. You can change the speed, change the brightness, all from this remote. Now for the components. We knew that NVIDIA and Intel combos were something that is super popular and highly functional. As I mentioned, we wanted to provide a system that was at a competitive price point, so we decided to go with the Intel i5 10600KF and the NVIDIA GTX 1660. The 10600KF is a part of Intel's 10th generation line of processors. It comes with 6 cores and 12 threads with a base of 4.1 GHz and a boost clock speed of 4.8. Also, the memory type that's supported is DDR4 RAM at 2666 MHz with dual channel support. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. In this build, we have thrown in a GTX 1660. This card has the capability of playing all sorts of games. That's due to the Turing architecture provided by NVIDIA. This supports dual monitors, has NVEIC encoder tech to help with video capture, and has game-ready drivers so you can jump right in and play. And for those that are curious, this build is VR ready. Some final things to note about this build is it comes with an additional CPU cooler from Cooler Master, as well as over 1 TB of storage and 8 GB of RAM. For more information about how RAM might affect your gameplay, you can check out this video over here. With this rig, you're getting quality components and pricing yourself into a decent entry-level PC. This is all with the convenience of being able to order at your local Best Buy to see for yourself how great of a machine this is. Feel free to shop at your local Best Buy or check us out at CyberpowerPC.com. This is Jeremy signing off. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
When it comes to selecting your perfect gaming desktop, there's a couple of key things gamers tend to look for: performance, cooling, and how well it all fits within their existing setups. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by again. My name's Eddie Goyanes, an Alienware product marketing manager and today I want to introduce to you guys the new Alienware Aurora R16. It is the debut of the Legend 3 industrial design onto desktop form. It features a new design that not only improves on thermals and acoustics, but is also a cutting-edge gaming desktop built to meet the demands of even the most intense gaming sessions. Come take a ride as we go on a deep dive on the Aurora R16. The Aurora R16 debuts Legend 3 in desktop form. We began the journey of the Legend industrial design back in 2019, and it's meant to convey our vision of what gaming PCs might look like 30 years into the future. It's easily recognizable thanks to its streamlined design, overall fewer shapes, and this future minimal concept. We've actually doubled down on acoustics, thermals, performance, and even the footprint has become more compact. As a result, the R16 is up to 40% smaller in volume compared to the R15, and we've done that without losing any functionality or performance on the overall experience. One of the biggest improvements on the R16's chassis design is the overall airflow. We've actually introduced an incredibly larger front stadium section that allows air to come inside of the system. Every configuration has larger hexagonal venting on the side, and even the surface area for the top exhaust has also grown. We've also debuted the new Alienware Command Center on the R16. You can edit and modify your entire ecosystem with ease. Now, looking at the system from the outside, you can tell we've introduced a brand new color. This is basalt black, and it comes with either a solid door or a clear side panel. R16 is the bomb. It's powerful. I've been playing on it for 3 to 4 months, and I expected it to be powerful, but what's really cool is actually the liquid cooling performance on this machine. Let's talk about that a little bit. When designing a new gaming desktop, the thermal strategy is critical, and we take airflow very, very seriously. Now that we have a larger air intake on the front, on the side, and on the top, that means that the fans can spin at a lower RPM, create less noise, but still manage to get the proper amount of airflow through the system, improving acoustics and improving the overall temperatures of the system. We've also done a lot of work on the inside. When it comes to our thermal strategy, it's not just about where the fans are and how big your vents are, but also how you manage your wires. The cable management system runs wires behind the motherboard, and even some of the thicker cables, like the power supply cables, actually connect on the boundaries of the motherboard, making sure that airflow is unobstructed, allowing your GPU and your CPU to run flawlessly. When it comes to the cooling choices you'll face with the R16, you'll be able to choose between air cooling or liquid cooling. The main benefits of liquid cooling are, well, you'll be able to run your system much quieter, and you'll also be able to get lower temperatures. Systems running with air-cooled processors have a heatsink attached to a fan, and that fan has to run at a really high RPM to achieve lower temperatures. Let's jump in and talk a little bit about performance. When it comes to gaming, performance is paramount, and I'm really happy to share that the R16 will match or beat the performance of the Aurora R15 for like-to-like configurations. And we've done that while improving thermals and acoustics. That means the CPU temperature and the GPU temperature are lower, and the total acoustic output is better than that of the R15. When it comes to choosing how your gaming engine is going to be configured, you'll have options spanning 12th gen or 13th gen Intel Core processors, and then there's going to be an entire suite of NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series graphics cards. And to continue with customization, there's lots of choices to choose from. You can get a single drive configuration, a dual drive configuration, and you can get up to 8 terabytes of storage space. The beauty of having so many configuration options is that you can make your spec match your lifestyle. It all depends on what matters the most to you, and the R16 has a ton of choices for you to choose from. Let's go into the machine. Let's look at all the improvements to customization and lighting. So like I mentioned earlier, the Aurora R16 is our first desktop with the new Alienware Command Center. It's designed from the ground up. It introduces a brand new user interface and completely new architecture. You'll be able to customize all of your lights, and there are presets available to you across the entire ecosystem. Some of these presets include managing performance and thermals. For example, you'll have some power states that you can choose from. There's the quiet mode, there's the balanced mode, and there's the performance mode. quiet mode obviously prioritizes acoustics. So what it'll do is it'll spin down the RPM of all of your fans, making the total noise output as low as possible. Balanced mode will actually allocate the rated wattage for your CPU and your GPU, making all things balanced, as they should be. Performance mode will allocate even more wattage to your graphics card when gaming performance is your absolute priority. When it comes to game profile customizations, it's all about binding lighting and power presets to your specific games. On top of that, if you like to run certain apps with certain games, you can have the preset call that application and run it simultaneously with the game. The R16 has up to 3 lighting zones. You can actually customize the lighting on the front stadium, on the rear chassis fan, and on the alien head power button. When you're shopping for an R16, you'll have the choice between the clear side panel or the solid door. If you choose the clear side panel, you'll get all 3 lighting options. If you choose the solid door, then it'll only be the side stadium and the alien head power button. All right, so we've covered a lot, but there's still a few things I want to show you guys. And to do that, we've got to take an even deeper dive. Let's go under the hood. Now we've got both the Aurora R16 and the R15 on the table, and I'm very excited to show you guys what the hype is all about. Now, the R16 is up to 40% smaller by volume compared to the R15, and we did that without sacrificing functionality or performance. In fact, the internal volume has not changed, and is just slightly above 25 liters. At quick glance, you can see how both systems continue to have the hexagonal side vents that we love. The R16 actually has larger diameter hexagons to make sure that all of the current graphics cards and future GPUs are going to be able to be provided with ample ambient airflow to maintain performance at all times. One of the key differences, as all of you might know, is that we've changed the lighting on these systems. And when it comes to Legend 3.0 and 2.0, it's not just a matter of different colors, but the shape has changed, the chassis was tilted on Legend 2.0, and on Legend 2.0, we also had this 360 approach where on the R16, we have a more efficient design meant to fit in more compact spaces or all around your homes. Now let's talk about upgradability. We know gamers take a lot of pride in managing their desktop, and we've made upgrading very, very easy. Many of these components offer toolless upgrades. That includes your graphics cards, your memory cards, and your hard drives. And this is lowering the barrier to entry for people who are curious about upgrading their own machine. Some of the other efforts our engineers focused on was making sure that there was a wide variety of configuration options available from day one. Offering 12th gen and 13th gen processors from day one is going to give gamers a wider range of budgetary options, and the system's scalable in the future as well. So if you want to run upgrades, you can certainly do so, and that's giving the Aurora 16 a great value, whether you're a first-time gamer or a legacy hardcore Alienware fan. Next up, we're going to take an even closer look at performance, and we're going to deep dive into the actual motherboard. So here's the Aurora's motherboard. And real quick, you could get up to 64 gigs of DDR5 5600 memory, and you could also get up to 8 terabytes of SSD storage. One of the most important features on the motherboard is actually the processor. And to drive a lot of performance, we need to make sure that power is managed cleanly and efficiently onto that CPU. The Aurora R16 has 12-phase voltage regulation. Now, you could actually see each voltage regulator on the board. They're located right around the CPU socket. Each of these deliver clean energy into the CPU. Delivering the energy into your processor are a choice between a 500 watt or 1000 watt power supply. These power supplies are 80 plus platinum rated in efficiency. That means all the components are going to get very clean energy, making sure that during the ownership of your system, each component is very well taken care of. The power supplies in the Alienware Aurora actually offer 2 very special features. One of them is called Flex Power, and it protects your system from power surges. The motherboard and the PSU talk to each other, and they communicate to protect the PC from shutting down in the event of a power surge. Burst Power is another special feature available on Aurora power supplies. And the way it works is, when you're running an application or a game and it needs a little more performance, the PSU will actually push more watts to those critical components. So we've talked a lot about power, energy, and performance. To manage all of that, we got to make sure that the system is running cool. And one of the special features on this motherboard is we've got several 4-pin connectors. All of these connect to either the fans or the liquid cooling unit. One of the key decisions behind the design and the thermal strategy with the Aurora R16 is this vertical stadium shape. Not only does it have beautiful alien effects lighting, but it's a much larger opening, allowing ambient air to come inside the chassis. Now, every Aurora R16 will have a 120mm front intake fan and a 120mm exhaust fan on the back. What we're able to accomplish with this basic setup is equal or better performance with less fans. In fact, we have lower acoustics and even better temperatures across CPUs and GPUs as well. As we mentioned before, airflow is critical, and that's why the location of our fans is also very, very important. The 120mm fan is on the bottom, and it blows air right onto the graphics card. The exhaust is on the top and also on the very top surface of the system, pulling it all out. This is all part of the strategy that we pursued to make sure that our acoustics are better, that our thermals are better, and that performance either meets or exceeds that of the R15 with like-to-like configurations.
CORSAIR Vengeance gaming PCs powered by NVIDIA RTX graphics unlock truly next-gen gaming experiences with technologies like RTX for real-time ray-traced lighting and reflections, as well as DLSS for improved frame rates at high resolution. RTX is NVIDIA's implementation of real-time ray tracing using dedicated RT cores that are baked into the GPU to do highly complex calculations for lighting and reflections. This allows in-game environments to be even more immersive. While ray-traced lighting and shadows provide an easy-to-spot visual upgrade to games, DLSS is where the real magic is, boosting FPS by rendering a supported game at a lower resolution that is then upscaled using AI to produce frames at awesome quality. These technologies are game-changing, and when paired with CORSAIR components in a system like the Vengeance i7200 or the A7200, RTX 30 series graphics cards can run at peak performance, with all the power and cooling that they need to drive the latest AAA titles with all the bells and whistles turned on. Cyberpunk 2077 with RTX on features ray-traced shadows, reflections, global illumination, diffuse illumination, and ambient occlusion for a more vibrant, lifelike night city, making this a game that benefits greatly from NVIDIA's DLSS. To demonstrate, we've set up a quick test on our Vengeance A7200, setting everything including ray tracing to Ultra at 1440p, but keeping DLSS off. With those settings, we managed 39.52 FPS on average. Testing again with DLSS set to quality mode, we hit an average FPS of 60.10, resulting in a much smoother experience while maintaining excellent quality. And to further drive the benefits of DLSS, we did a similar test with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, this time cranking the resolution up to 4K with all settings including ray tracing set to maximum. Without DLSS, our average FPS was a respectable 55.86 frames per second. However, switching on DLSS performance mode gave us a drastic improvement, increasing our average FPS to 77.55 with a barely noticeable difference in quality. And there you have it. CORSAIR Vengeance gaming PCs and NVIDIA RTX graphics are the perfect pairing for your next upgrade, delivering gorgeous visuals and silky smooth gameplay. For more information about CORSAIR systems powered by NVIDIA RTX, or components for your next NVIDIA RTX powered build, check out CORSAIR.com.